Hello, good afternoon. It is Friday the 8th of July. And Everton have confirmed that they are going to be playing in the Sydney Super Cup, where they will play Celtic on the 20th of November and they will play Western Sydney Wanderers on the 23rd of November. Brilliant for Evertonians in Australia.
Yeah.
Not brilliant for Evertonians in the UK at the times. But there you go. There you go. The Blues spreading their wings off to America, of course, over the weekend, and now confirmed to play in a tournament while the World Cup's going on.
I'm sure we'll have a few players in the World Cup, but I don't think it'll be a lot, so maybe the odd few. So it's important to keep the rest of the squad playing. So a couple of games in the hot weather. I imagine they'll probably do some, a little training camp over there as well, where it would be really hot because this isn't November time in Australia.
It's their summer.
Yeah, our winter's basically their summer, so it'll be absolutely boiling. So getting them out in the sun, playing some games, higher UV exposure.
Shut up.
It's good for the players.
It is mad though, because obviously they'll come back and then they'll be given probably 10 days off.
Yeah.
And then they'll start effectively pre-season training again to build up to Boxing Day. So
it's a good break as well, because December and January particularly are normally absolutely hectic. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like with it. I'm not a massive international football fan, but I do prefer a World Cup in the summer. And to be honest, when the news first broke a couple of years ago that it was going to be in November, December time, I was a bit like, that's just stupid, isn't it?
Well, it is stupid,
but like, now, like, we're pretty much getting used to the fact that it's happening. Then you can start to look at the positives, and commercially for Everton, getting a little tournament or getting involved in a tournament in Australia is brilliant. I think obviously last year we had the Florida Cup, and this year we got back into America, which is, it's good. It's good from the club. It should have been happening years ago, to be honest. But the fact that it's happening now is great, and getting in Australia in the same year as well is fantastic, Barry.
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking at the World Cup fixtures there, so it looks like the first World Cup match is the following day. Everton playing on the 20th, so the first World Cup match is the 21st of November, 10 a.m. in the morning.
So are we playing Celtic and then Sydney?
Western Sydney Wanderers.
Yeah.
So England are playing on the 21st against Iran. There's 4 games on that day. There's Senegal, Netherlands at 10 o'clock in the morning. There is England, Iran at 1 o'clock. Qatar, Ecuador, the game I want to watch, at 4. And USA versus Wales at 7. So, busy day.
Be interesting to know what times those games are in Australia's time zone. Because you could watch the game.
Well,
and the next day,
I think if you just
get in the pub and...
Isn't it 10 hours? Imagine where Qatar is, it'll be different, yeah. What's Qatar? 2 hours? Yeah, I'm not working it out now. Don't be giving me them.
Time's not real anyway.
But there you go. So yeah, I mean, you've just hit the nail on the head. Basically, you've just said it's commercially very good. It is. It's commercially good that Everton have gone to America. Wim Hendricks says seems like a good corporate move. Go to America and Australia, as we've had good players from those areas and probably a good following. Absolutely. Playing Celtic will be a great game. I mean, they had the little pop at Rangers yesterday, didn't they? Pulling out Celtic when they announced Everton, said we've got bigger and better opponents.
They pulled
twist the knife
out because they didn't want to have the derby in another country or something.
I've not really followed it, mate, to be honest, but there you go. Yatesy, Wim, Gareth, Castle of Memories, and JT 1998 EFC say hello to everybody. Connor Davies says I'm from Australia. There you go, mate. Rich 063 says, will it be live on the club website? I imagine so.
Yeah, if you're a member.
I imagine so. You'll have to be a member, or Everton might sell the game like a £5 or something, whatever. But I think that's good. I think it'd be good. Gary Lawler says, Toffee TV going to be in Oz. I mean, there's some talk of it. I don't think I'm going to Australia in November.
John and Cam want to go. I don't know if I'll survive USA, to be honest. Australia is well hot.
It's not even hot. It's miles away. Like,
yeah. If the invents
I
are
can't
really
Everton
fast
just play a
playing,
tournament in like Lanzarote or something, or like Ibiza, 2 hours. Lovely weather, boss.
not as commercially as exciting,
Obviously
though,
not.
is it?
Mate. Obviously
Lanzarote.
not.
Have Dele Alli on a night out the day before.
Why have you named Dele Alli?
Because Dele Alli's
Well, his name's Dele.
Well, Dele is a cool geezer. He goes on nights out, and I
Does he?
want
I
to
don't
go.
know
And
whether
I
he
want to go
does.
on a night out with him.
I don't know whether he does. His tests have been the best he's ever had in his career. His pre-season test, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And that's why I want to go on a night out with Dele.
Hugh says, are we going to play a game behind closed doors before heading to America? Everton are playing an inter-squad game behind closed doors tomorrow. I think it's fun.
Are they? Yeah.
There's your breaking news. Yeah, and then off they go. I think they go on Sunday to the States. Sunday or Monday. Thinking it's Sunday, but it may be Monday. But it's yeah. So there you go. There was talk that we were going to play Accrington Stanley, but that's not happened.
What in like, behind closed doors? Didn't we play them last year behind closed doors? Who was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
beat them 3-0.
Is that when Gordon ran up?
Gordon scored,
Yeah,
Lewis Gibson
and the whole
scored,
pitch,
and
was it on Yango?
no, was it Broadhead? Don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Gary Lawler says, "Come on, lads, I'll throw a couple of shrimps on the barbie." Classic. I see what you did there, Gaz.
That's just a stereotype.
There'll be no. Well, I mean, Gary is in Australia.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I mean,
Fair enough.
Gary from Bootle was just wondering if I'm wanted to put shrimps on the barbie if we go to Australia.
He might have been going. He might have had his plane tickets booked already.
Maybe.
Before
Listen,
they go.
Maybe I've read it wrong. Maybe Gary is travelling to Australia. I just felt by his comments that he's in Australia. I might be way off base here. You might be correct. Stephen Spencer says the thing that might actually turn it for me. You could go via Vancouver. And that would make all the difference.
On the underground.
Flying to Vancouver.
Get the underground.
Get
from
the
Vancouver,
underground.
10-minute train up to Australia.
Wim, apparently, as of this morning, they're still hoping to do some deals. I don't know how far along it is. I'm crossing everything because I think it boosts everybody. Certainly, if there was just one, I think it'd give everybody a boost as well as the players in the squad as well. Daniel McDivitt says, "Be a good idea to broadcast it on the YouTube channel." Yeah. Gary Lawler says he's in Brisbane.
Brisbane, that's in Australia.
Well done, Ned. Well done. Mark Ackerman says, "Can't wait to see the greatest club in the world down under." Is right, Mark? I'm guessing Mark is in Australia.
He's a Western Sydney Wanderers fan.
Maybe he is, and maybe that's what he's talking about. You just never know. Drop a like if you're watching the stream. It really helps the channel, helps us. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, why not? Takes a sec, just do it. Let's have a look on our Premier members, what they're saying. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Ned, this time next week, we will be on our way to Washington, D.C. So...
This time next week, we'd have just got on the plane from Dublin, wouldn't we?
We won't. We take off at like 25 to 1, so we'll be in the air. Fingers crossed.
If we get
so
customs.
You and Jed will be hitting it off fantastically
I'll probably
well.
be in
Are you
the
excited?
hotel.
Excuse me. You excited?
I'm very, very. I'm just so excited to see. I obviously miss Everton, but like the past few times, obviously, the past few season, it's just been proper stress watching Everton. So to be able to sit and watch them, and to be honest, at the time I'll probably be like, "Oh God, here we go, we go again."
Why?
Because I don't know. I'm just a.
Why are
just a
you the way
worrier.
you are?
Well, what I'm saying is, touch wood, I'll be just sat there stress free, going a game of footy, in the sun. Okay, I'm sunburned all over, but this is boss.
Well, there's a couple.
As long as we're not 3-0 down in 5 minutes.
There's a couple of things you can do there. One, actually wear sun cream, so that'll stop you getting sunburned.
That's just a factor 7,000. I'm
Right.
probably not going to stop getting sunburned.
You will. and you need to get some after sun, so you can put your after sun on.
I've got some.
In the night, okay. So there's the first thing. You know, you can always be in the shade at places. You can wear a hat. So they're all things that you can help.
Got the hat.
Right. Secondly, sit there and just think, I'm in the United States of America watching Everton playing a game that doesn't matter if we win 11-0 or get beat 11-0. It's a game of footy. It's pre-season. You obviously want them to do well. You want them to play well. You want to, be lovely to see Delhi get a goal or two. Just watch the game and enjoy it. Take it in for all it is.
And
there's no stress and no pressure.
I watched it before, but sitting and just watching Tarkowski, but in an Everton kit, going, "Oh, he's a big lad, and he's a grok.
He's a big lad,
and he's gonna."
You just want him to be good. I don't want to look at him and go, "Oh, he's a big lad, him." I just want to watch him and go, "He looks."
Yeah,
quite
Michael Keane's a big lad. I don't look at him and go, "Oh, you're a big lad." I just go,
"He looks sound." But we'll see. We will see.
Do you know what I'm really excited
Brad says
for?
Ned is like Judith Chalmers.
Fair enough, Judith from Walking Dead.
No, Judith Chalmers used to host a holiday program. To be fair, you are a little bit too young, right? But don't just throw like another Judith in for the sake of it. Just say, don't use Judith Chalmers, and then we will tell you who she is.
Took a wild guess.
She used to host a program called a holiday program.
Really?
It was half an hour, and basically she'd go all over the place and report on like, come to Mallorca and you can get this price holiday for here, and this is what you could. It was boss, but she'd go all over the world. It was amazing. It was brilliant. They should defo bring it back.
I wonder if she's ever been to Alcudia.
I'm quite sure Judith Chalmers has been to Alcudia.
Alcudia was my go-to place. Well, not mine, my parents.
Why do you love Alcudia so much? You see, Mallorca.
Do you know why?
Mallorca,
because
right?
I'm so used to it.
Okay,
and when I've been anywhere else, I've not enjoyed it.
You are the type of person, said this before, that you will eat a sandwich and you like it, and that will be the only sandwich you eat because you like it, right? Or a sandwich, right? Or you'll wear a top that you really like, and that'll be your go-to. To be fair, you're not too bad with your clothes. You will mix it up a little bit, but there's certain things that you say, and I just think, if me and you went to Spain and I was going, let's go in that Spanish restaurant there and we'll get a lovely meal, but next door was the dog and duck that done like white bread and tomato ketchup. And
I can get that at home though. So
but you would still, I think, go, I'd rather eat in there, mate.
What it is more like, if I was to choose not to go on holiday on my own, just me, like full on Shirley Valentine's went on my own, I wouldn't want to go somewhere.
You're going to have a bit of a fling with a Greek fisherman?
You never know. I want to go somewhere where I don't know. Because I'd be like, I'm on my own. I don't know where I am. Anxious. My anxiety would just go.
You've got to. There will be points in your life when you're gonna. I mean, we're doing it next week.
We're going.
You've never been to Dublin. I mean,
I'm not really going to Dublin.
No, we're gonna be in the
airport.
But you've never been to the United States, which is the most craziest country on the planet, and also the most amazing.
Is it really like you get there and it's like that? This is so alien, or is it just like you just in
mate, I'm not being funny. I can only speak about going to Florida, can't I? Florida, I absolutely love. Some Americans hate Florida, right? It'll be... People are... Like, Americans are quite brash, aren't they? And they're noisy, and it's great. It's fantastic, right? Everything seems bigger in America. It just does. Cars are bigger, the roads are bigger, whatever. We're going to cities, so it will be different.
The Mackies.
Yeah. But it'll be amazing because it'll be a different experience. So you just got to take it all in. You will have an idea. You'll be thinking, oh, it'll be like this or it'll be like this. And I imagine it won't be anything like you're thinking. And that will be probably exactly the same. I'm thinking about DC and thinking, the White House, Capitol Hill. Oh, I can't wait to go to Smithsonian.
I have to keep thinking about Captain America and Falcon running around.
You see, mine's different. I was watching Parks and Rec the other night, and they were in DC, and they were doing the touristy bits like the White House, and the mirror lake, and this, that, and the other. And I was just looking, thinking, oh my God, we're gonna be doing that kind of thing, right? So I've got a vision in my head of standing in front of the White House. What's it gonna be? It'll be totally different, because that's just the way it is. We build something up in our mind, and it often plays out differently, or it just feels differently. So that you just embrace everything. Don't think, I only like that, or I only like that, or I only like that. You're a 21-year-old man, boy, and you need to have new experiences in your life.
That's why I'm so looking forward to America, because it's something new.
It's going to be amazing for you, mate, honestly. It's going to be amazing, and you've never been on a transatlantic flight. That's different to other stuff you've been on. It's boss, mate, honestly. I imagine it'll be boss, scary, different, exciting, all rolled into the thing.
Is jet lag?
Jet lag, yeah.
It's
when your legs are dead fast. You can run like a jet. Jet lag.
Is that real?
It's massively real. You won't get it on the way there, clearly, right? Because there's no lag. We're ahead when we get there. So when we get the thing, what'll happen? Don't forget, we're gonna be leaving for the airport at like 4 a.m. Next Friday morning. So you'll have been up since like 3 o'clock, quarter past. If you've been able to go to sleep, like if you're one of them, innit? Can't go to sleep and all that. You'll have been up since then. And then so we have to get to Manchester by 5, and then we've got to do all the checking in and blah blah, and then we've got flights to Dublin. By the time we get to Washington, we land at 20 to 4 Washington time, but it'll be 20 to 9 for us in the night. So the afternoon there, night time for us, yeah. So we'll get there, get our stuff, get to where we're staying, maybe by like 5:30. Hopefully we'll be there, and then we'll probably, you might be thinking, what, should we go out and have a bevy, or should we have some tea? But what you've got to think is it's 10:30, really, on the back of you haven't been to sleep since, we've nearly, But the thing what you don't want to do is go to bed at like 6 o'clock.
Because you'll be up in the...
Or 7, you'll be like that. Yeah. So what I've done, what we try to do in Florida every time we go, is stay up till about 9, half 9, and then go to bed. And then normally you sleep like, because you're destroyed, then you're knackered, so you sleep like the way through. Because it's Florida and you own to Magic Kingdom and all that, you'd normally wake up about 6:30 in the morning like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm in the shower at like 20 to 7, can't wait to get me breakfast and go. This won't quite be the same, but you want that first good night's sleep. And then you're on their time then. We wake up in the morning and go, it's, get up. Say, just for argument's sake, say we got up at 7 a.m, 7:30, just because you wake up. You might be later, but you're on Washington time then, so you're just on America time, so it's fine. When you're coming the other way, yeah, we leave Washington and we leave Washington at 9 o'clock at night.
At night?
But it's 2 a.m. really here. So by the time we get home, them 5 hours have disappeared again, and you're gonna be at the same situation, and then your body clock is messed up. And don't forget, we're crossing time zones as well in America, so we're going from 5 hours to 6 hours in Minnesota from the UK. So it messes your body clock up, so it does. And then you come home, and because you might be lucky, you might be able to sleep on a plane and sleep all night on the way home from Washington.
I'll sleep on the plane.
You might be. My lad, who's the same age as you, also called Mathew, he gets on the plane wherever he's going, but when we come home from Florida, he gets on, he watches one film maybe, or gets halfway through film, goes to sleep, and he wakes up as he touches down, doesn't have any brekkie or not, he touches down in Manchester, and he's back on our time, and he's never, I don't know how he does it, but he's back on it normally. Whereas I don't go to sleep, I'm watching films trying to just get through, because I can't sleep. It's not like you can lay down, is it? So you get home, and then you are knackered, and then you're going, I think I need to go to bed. You start seeing like three of people and all that, because you're just so tired. The worst thing you can do is obviously go to bed. You go to bed and sleep 8 hours, then you get 10 o'clock at night, and then you're wide awake. You're not going to sleep then, right? So you've got to be very careful. You've got to, and this is what I was trying to say to you about having, we will get back to football in a minute, I apologise. This is what I was trying to say to you about when you were saying I might have a gig on that day. You will literally be destroyed, mate, because not only it's keeping yourself physically awake, how can you perform singing, and it's an effort and playing.
You came in, said, have you ever been on transatlantic flight? And I said, no, and he said, you'll have no voice. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you'll have no throat. I said, how? And he said, because that air conditioning on flying hours will suck.
Don't forget,
all the moisture out.
Don't forget, we're doing quite a few flights, aren't we? We're doing 6 flights just on this. So the aircon isn't great on the planes. You can get things, vitamins or whatever, but I just think you'd be destroyed anyway, regardless of whether or not whether or not you throat's fine. You might get off. You might be like, no, my throat. My throat generally is all right, but it's the actual tiredness. So that's jet lag is very real, very real. Patrick says I can't sleep on planes either. Any football news after we hear Ned's full itinerary. The only kind of links today, there's a link with the Belgian midfield player today.
From Club Brugge.
From Bruges. Again, want to see 35 million. I just think, no.
What I would say is it's a player that I've never heard of, which means, and he's not like a well-known, not like we've been linked with Gareth Bale or like a Townsend or a Gray who's playing in the Premier League.
Oh, that's what you want.
Which means
though.
people are doing the work, aren't they? People are going out watching plays in different leagues.
Yeah.
And he's a young player.
Yeah,
Not sure about the price tag, whether it's true anyway, I don't know.
Kevin Murphy says he's got socks older than you, Ned. See.
I'd get some new socks.
James Laird. So I will say hello to Hallie Laird. I hope you're good. Good afternoon. Hope you're being good for James. Be good. Be good for your dad.
Hey you. Be good.
Hey you. Be good. Go on, Ned. Do it again.
Be good.
Hey you. Be good.
Love you all. Ta-da.
It's Synergy says, just enjoy it, Ned. You'll be in a 5-star hotel all on Toffee TV. Not happening. Flying business. Again.
We're staying in a hostel.
And 5k to spend all on them. Imagine. Get to Hooters. That might happen. We might take Ned to Hooters in Minnesota.
That Russian fella from Stranger Things is second us on his plane.
Yeah. Yori.
Yeah. Hello, Toffee TV.
Stop it. Glenn says, I came back from 3 weeks in the USA. I went to bed knackered at 10 o'clock, slept through my alarm, and woke up naturally at 6 p.m. the next day.
See, we land and like 36 hours later we're in work.
Yeah, normal people do that now. I remember when going to Florida, come home years ago, landed at 11 o'clock, I think it was, 11:30, on the Saturday morning. Got to ours at 1:30, 1:15. Threw a bowl of cornflakes down my neck. Got in the car, went to Goodison, and watched us get spanked 3-0 by Ipswich at home.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. The same thing happened a few years ago when Koeman was the manager. Come home from America the Saturday morning, same drill, went to Goodison, got beat 3-0 at home by Tottenham. So the moral of my story is, when I come, I'm not coming back on the day of an Everton game to get to Goodison to watch us get tonked at home.
That was before Koeman got sacked, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And what was mad about that game was it was quite tight till Harry Kane missed it across. And they went 1-0 up, and once they went 1-0 up, we could not get near them. Harry Kane was unbelievable that day. Just centre forward play, held everyone off. We literally couldn't get near him. But it was quite tight. Sandro missed a half chance at 0-0, which might have took it the other way. But once they scored, they destroyed us.
His first game was against Spurs, wasn't it, Koeman? At Goodison, 1-1.
Yeah. Ross scored the free kick, yeah.
Should have won that game.
We should have. We just ran out of steam. We ran out of steam.
Started well, didn't we?
With like the last 20 minutes. I think Lamella equalised, didn't he, with the header?
I think so, yeah.
Lamella with the header, yeah. It's Synergy. 8 days, mate, we're away for. Gareth Jones says, Ned, you have to bag an American girl. You won't look back, fella.
If I
was you, yeah.
Going to work. If I met an American bird and
Bird, though. There's your first mistake.
I'd be 37 stone in 2 months.
Why?
Because I love food.
Yeah.
And there's
So if you met an American girl,
there's quite a lot of sugar in American food.
You would be 37 stone.
Because if I'd moved to America, and I'd be like, oh, the Mackies is so much better here. I want to have Mackies every day.
Well, you wouldn't, because there's so many other things that are better than Mackies.
And Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is definitely not one of those things.
Is there a Chick-fil-A in DC?
There's one in, where did I look for you? Minnesota,
I think it was Minnesota, yeah.
Mate, Chick-fil-A and nothing. Kevin Murphy says Ned's head is melted with all this info. And Kev also says, Baz, you doing any vlogs? So we'll be doing stuff every day, mate. Every day we'll be doing stuff. Without a shadow of a doubt. So, yeah. Any babysitting Ned vlog. I don't know whether we'll be babies. we will be babysitting. Absolutely. I don't know whether we'll be vlogging them.
I'm a grown man.
Nathan Garrity says, Baz, you need to go to the West Coast. It's boss.
That like LA and San Francisco and stuff.
Meek, yes, mate. I've been. What have I been? 17 times to America. So yeah, that's why I'm like an expert. Cheers, mate. There you go.
You're basically American.
No, I'm not. But I have been. So I wouldn't speak like that
many times.
If it was if I hadn't been. Peter Roberts says, Baz, how do you remember so much from games from years gone by? Phenomenal. You know what, mate? It's just, I wish other stuff stayed in my head, like Everton games. I really do. I wish it'd be boss if I could remember. At school and uni would have been boss if I had this kind of memory for stuff that I'd learned. Yeah.
I had a good memory.
Mate, I can literally... No, it's what I'm saying. I had to do more work. The football, I watch a match and then it'll just... People will say something and I go, oh, yeah, that happened and we've done it. You know what I mean?
I didn't do any revision outside of school hours for GCSEs or A-levels or me uni because I thought, well, you go to school to revise. So what's the point? I've got 10 GCSEs. I've got 3 A-levels. I only took 3 A-levels because I want to take on 4.
Yeah.
And I've got a first-class degree.
So
revision makes you stress.
How come I've got zero common sense then?
Because I'm book smart, but I'm not street smart. And some people,
I've heard you say that 12
times. Some people are very
times.
street smart, but not very book smart.
I'm in the middle.
I mean, I can tell you loads about herpetology and this and that.
I mean, you do. That is your go-to.
But if someone like if it was like if it was in a situation in public, I'd be like, Harry.
Yeah. No, it is mad. It is mad. Everton Blue says must not have played footy at a decent level, but Baz footballers hardly remember anything. I did play at a decent level as well, so it's just one of them things, mate. Some stuff with the footy just sticks with me. It sticks with me, and games have gone by. And I remember we done something on Ball Seat years ago. We had a quiz, and a couple of the lads were like trying to like revise stuff, you know what I mean? And sat down. They were like, "What do you want it on? What year?" Then you know we could choose now. And it's all right, do the 84-85 season because we won the league basically. They were like, right, we're asking you anything. And I think they done 30 questions. I think I got 30 out of 30. And
really?
It's things like how many league goals did Graham Sharp score and what in this game. But I can remember all that. But if someone gave me something to read, do you know what I mean? I can remember bits of it, but other things I'd just be like oh, I can't. It won't stay because I'm not into. It's stuff that I'm not interested in, really. Stuff you have to do. Like I've got a degree, but I can't remember now stuff that I was doing. The stuff that sticks out to me is the journalism stuff I did.
Because you're interested in all that
Yeah,
stuff, though.
the geography, the geology of rocks, standing in a stream in loggerheads, measuring the flow of water. Right. Didn't interest me. I had to do it. Didn't interest me. Going on the top of, some rock formations and looking at how far the rock had split and measuring it over time didn't interest me. I had to do it. And I had to know at the time what it was.
Erosion and abrasion.
It did not interest me in the slightest. And even stuff like comparative sports and things like that, with the Russian movement and how they change. Bit like sports washing now, but it was Russia did it years ago, but they did it through gymnastics and sport. We're not that bad. Look how boss we are at sport. All of that, China. I've done all of that kind of stuff. That was slightly more interested in that, but I still, do you know what I mean? It still doesn't set a fire off in me. But footy, I can remember, like Zach's just finished his first season. I can remember basically everything he's done in every game. I can go, remember that goal? And he'll remember the goal, but I'll go, but in that game, you give the ball away 3 times by trying that stupid turn, and he's like looking with things like that. And it'll just come into me. Yeah, it's dead weird. It must just be because I'm interested.
Yeah, I always remember like crazy facts about foot, like games especially. Like I was watching David Moyes' Coach's Voice the other day, and I didn't check up on it because I was sure anyway. But it annoys me like managers and players don't remember things. But I know they have a lot of things going on, and to us, like, well, it's our team. We remember big games. He
Yeah.
was talking about. If I don't know if I say the Fellaini game, which one I'm talking about, the 2012, 2013, the first
Headed off the corner.
the first game against United, yeah.
It was a Monday night. I wasn't even there. I was in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I was in the Magic.
Really,
I can tell you where I was.
August,
I was in the Magic Kingdom. It was August. I haven't been well. I was away. Just the way it was with holidays and all that. And we beat Villa 3-1, didn't we, a few days later. But I was in the Magic Kingdom by Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was trying to, like, people texting me and all that. But we won the game, and
Villa was away as well.
Villa was away. One Pienaar scored that little shimmy and bent it in.
And I remember.
Beat them 3-1.
Well, he said on this, we set up brilliant for that game against United, and he went, and then later in the season went to Old Trafford and we got a draw there, 2-2, and I was like, did we? I thought we got beat 2-0. We did get beat 2-0, didn't we? I didn't check. 11-12, we drew
11-12 was 4-4.
That was a week after the 2-0
12-13, Moyes' last season.
Moyes' last season, it was 2-0 at Old Trafford. I'm sure it was.
I'm trying to think when it was. So it would have been after Christmas, wouldn't it?
Man United v Everton 2012. Oh, I thought 2021. This is 13. Sure, it was 2-0. The season before it was 4-4.
Yeah, the 4-4 one was 2012.
It
was April,
wasn't it? It's
the week after Liverpool had beat us, wasn't it? So it would have been the 22nd of April, 23rd of April. It was 4-4.
That was towards the end of the season. Yeah, I'm just getting 4-4, and that's 2011-12, and that's the wrong one. Jelic scored that when he scored the header. It was like the slowest header.
So it put us 1-0 up. Yeah, looping header back into the far corner.
Great cross.
Rooney scored for them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hibbo.
I think Welbeck scored as well, didn't he?
Welbeck scored, yeah. Well, at 3-1 and 4-2, it was over, wasn't it? You just thought, it's over, and then Pienaar.
I saw that next season at Old Trafford. It was 2-0 though. Yeah, Louis White says 2-0. We got beat. And I was like, Moyes, how can you not remember these
Giggs scored,
games?
Didn't he? But they are,
That's what I was when he said that, Giggs came to mind.
I know, I've heard people say, this happened and that happened, and I'm thinking, no, that's not quite right. But, they're doing.
It's when people
it's important
say
to them, it's the job, and there'll be moments, but to us,
you're
looking at it through different eyes.
I hate that when people say, people on Sky or even when you listen to TalkSport, people on there who do your head in, and they say things massively wrong about Everton. It's like, well, actually, no, we won that.
But that's because
Everton haven't beat Liverpool at Anfield for 20 years. Well, we won that last season, mate.
Yeah. Because they don't do the work, mate. That's why. Ian Allinson says, okay, I have a couple of spare rooms at my place. He was covering the Sydney trip. Plenty of reptiles for Ned to cover.
Oh, yeah. Ian will have to get some more Tim Sams in as well.
RCO2 says, took a break from bombarding you lads with transfer questions, but I'm back now. Is Gibbs White our cheaper Gallagher alternative? Well, he's one who they're interested in. I mean, they do like Gallagher, but Chelsea haven't made any kind of decision on Conor Gallagher. If I was Chelsea, I don't think I'd be letting Gallagher go. I'd have him in the squad. They're going to play games. They're going to have at least 6 Champions League games, so there's 44 games to play. They very rarely go out in the third round of the FA Cup. So say they don't get to the final, but they have 3 games to the quarter final. So there's 47 Carabao Cups to see. So they're going to play over 50 games, and could, if they go further in the Champions League, which they normally do get to the next day, they're playing 50 plus games. Conor Gallagher would get games for them, and then they'd be in the position to make the decision then, because they'd have had them with them all season, seeing how he's done in them games. And
in the Champions League.
The problem for Everton though with Conor Gallagher, I'd love him, but it's like we were saying the other day, and me and Cam had a chat about it yesterday. It's like there's so many midfielders at Everton. It's that where does everyone? I know that isn't a reason not to get him, and obviously Everton are interested in Gibbs White, and are trying to do that deal. It is mad how it's all going to play together, because if Everton only playing 2 midfield players, then Gallagher doesn't. To me, I don't think you could play Conor Gallagher and Abdoulaye Doucouré around midfield. So I just don't think you could.
You want a big.
Well, you just want. You want a defensive-minded midfield player in there. But I would still love Gallagher. But if you said to me, well, we're going to get rid of Gomez and we're going to get rid of a couple of others from that, Allen, and we're going to get rid of, and all of a sudden you'd cleared a little path, then you'd go, yes, please, we'll take Conor Gallagher. Right now, I don't think Everton are in that position, because, but then saying that, the thing with Morgan Gibbs White is he does play in that. He can play as an 8, he can play as a, not great as a 10. He's more of a runner. But he can play wide right as well, and we don't really have anybody wide right. You can push Damari Gray out there. You can push Anthony Gordon out there, but they both prefer the other side. Who's the other one? Andros Townsend. We ain't going to be back before Christmas, I don't think. So there's nobody on the right-hand side.
I think Lampard's probably looking and thinking, well, and personally I think Allen's going to still be involved next season. I know I said before the season I'd be looking to, or I imagine he would probably go back to like Italy, get some bit of money. I think he's got a year left in the contract, doesn't he? Get some money in for him. I can see him still being involved next season, and I can see Wolby being involved in midfield more. He'll be sitting and play, that number 8 role. And United and Leicester. Obviously, Decore's going to be involved. I can see Dele Alli having a bit more game time next season. So I think Lampard might be looking, thinking, right, we can get by with our. Obviously, we don't have a natural number 6, but with the money we've got, we can right now our next signing we should be looking at replacing Richarlison's goals. So he's probably looking at plays. We will play in that position where Richarlison did, or like maybe another striker or a false winger.
It's that difficult, isn't it? Because we're trying to second guess what Frank Lampard wants to do. Now, he come in and was in a dogfight immediately with nobody of his own really other than Dele. The Van der Beek thing. Van der Beek would have played for Everton, whether it was Frank Lampard, Duncan Ferguson, or Vita Pereira.
When he was fit, he played.
No, but I'm saying he would have. That transfer was basically done. That transfer was done. Because it was practically done on deadline day in August.
Brands wanted
him. It was set up. It was the easy let's go to. So he would have come to Everton regardless whether it was Lampard. So really the only player Frank had an input in was Dele. Now whether you think that's right, wrong, indifferent, whatever. If Everton get Dele up to speed, we will have one hell of a midfield player who can score goals. The issue is you're trying to look at it and go, oh, he'll do this and he'll do this. We've no idea. He might play 3-4-3, might play 3-5-2. Mightn't he? So it is difficult. Is Brozier being bought instead of Dennis or with Dennis, and how would he fit in the team? He's not creative enough to play with Dom or play on the wing. Is Dennis creative enough? Bear in mind, he's had one season where he got double figures.
Dennis is more of a... I know Brozier's mobile, but Brozier's a proper number 9, isn't he? Dennis is... I've read
a piece on Brozier this morning about his actual numbers and where he occupies the pitch. He's not a number 9. Once it goes wide, drops wide and he runs with the ball. He's a head down runner with the ball. He's not a run down the wing crosser.
Do you think he can someone who can play as like a false winger?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. He might in 2 years. He might be back to goal. He's back to goal play at the moment. It's atrocious.
Well, he scored 6 goals playing in that.
We got 9 in all competitions. But yeah. I would. If you're asking me who I'd rather have, Brozier or Dennis, I'd have Brozier. I think his ceiling's higher. Dennis is 24. Last season was his first season, the only season he's ever hit double figures in. And that's not me saying I wouldn't have him, because he is a live wire, and that might be him starting to improve.
And both of them are mobile players that you could have playing off. Both of them playing off Dom, and that's what you need. He plays around.
If you look at where Brozier does his work, though, his best work, it's in wide areas. It's not through the middle.
And you also need players out wide as well, getting the balls into Dom, because that's just... If you're going to play with Dom and build around Dom, you need to play to his strength. Get him in the box and get balls in.
Confused about the number 6 role. Winks and Onana are very different sixes. Have the club got a clear idea? I honestly couldn't tell you that, mate. I'm not in the room with Frank Lampard or Kevin Thelwell. I couldn't tell you what vision or identity they've got. Harry Winks, I think, was just a conversation when Spurs wanted Richarlison. People can big it up and write whatever they want. I think at that time Everton just were like, well, is there a chance we can take him on loan? Because obviously if you're Everton, you're trying to basically do what Roberto Martinez did when he come in. You're trying to patch up areas of the pitch with loans at first, so you've got a bit of money to go after the ones you really want. Harry Winks might have been, we'll take him on loan. If he does well, we'll buy him. And Spurs, no, we want this money, so Everton have gone, no, you're all right. Onana, I've seen nothing to suggest that was serious, but I'd be amazed if he wasn't on a list, because he's a good footballer.
Onana?
Playing in France. There's a few.
I thought you meant the goalkeeper.
No.
Jack Ladd says Brozier reminiscent to Lukaku. I wouldn't say he is. I don't think so. And even then, when Lukaku played as a wide forward, sometimes with the Martinez, with Naismith in the false nine. So.
Alexander Hoffler says, afternoon boys, apologies for the slightly long message. The other week I asked a football manager related question in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook. The only guy responded and actually helped was a blue. Are you surprised? He's a blue nose, he's going to help you. He's been helping me get better at the game. We've been talking Everton, and he was saying he doesn't have anyone to talk to about Everton. So I suggested he subscribe to the channel. Yesterday he did. Next I'm going to recommend he becomes a Premier member because it's 1,000% worth it, just in case any other YouTube viewers are debating signing up. Anyways, up the always friendly, helpful Toffees. Have a good day, boys, and enjoy the night. Cheers, Alexander. Have a good day, mate. Thank you very much for the recommendation as well.
The Premier agent.
Barry says, all right, fellas, early dart from work for the Premier night. See you later, Baz. Martin Armstrong says, afternoon, boys. En route to my spiritual second home, rather. See you tonight, Martin. Top man. RCO2 says, also completely forgot to ask, but is it a coincidence we've tried to buy Lewis Potter and Gibbs White with Ashley Cole working with them? Possibly not. No, because that's a good way to look at young players. You get to see them, what the work ethic's like. You get to see them up close. Are they good enough to do what you want them to do? Do they buy into information? What are they like in training? Lots of variables. So no, it's probably a good thing. Yeah. And obviously Lee Carsley as well, who Dunk would have had at Everton if he'd have got the job. So
I imagine Lee Carsley will still be speaking to people at the club as well. Evertonian.
Well, he's a coach, and he will anyway, because obviously you've got Anthony Gordon and others.
And most importantly, I think Everton's got a real lack of, not attitude, but we've got not a great amount of proper characters, have we? So if Ashley Cole's working with a full group of players, you can see who's got the best attitude, and if the players, then get him in.
Owen Brown says, hi guys, have a great night tonight. Sorry can't be there, but a bit of a trek from Somerset. But having said that, made the journey plenty of times to Goodison last season to watch us. I'm sure you'll have. Your night will be more fun than a lot of those trips. I'm actually positive about next season. I think Frank is the right man to take us forward. Cheers, have a couple of drinks and enjoy later. Cheers, mate. Sam Whitlock says, afternoon guys, hope you're enjoying the sun. What do you think of the Walker Peters? It is sunny, as I've seen. The Walker Peters link.
Nonsense.
I mean, I don't know whether it's nonsense, but...
Well, he's had a loan at Southampton, hasn't he?
But he bought him.
Still a Spurs player.
No, bought him, didn't he?
Really, yeah.
He got him as part of the Højbjerg deal.
So do you think they'd probably want money for him? So why would Everton spend money on him?
That to me is a weird one. I wouldn't say it's nonsense, but it's a weird one, because obviously we've got Nathan Patterson, we've got Coleman still there. Alex Iwobi played right wing back. So
if they want a full back to cover,
if there's money, and Walker Peters can cover left back, by the way, but yeah, that to me is a bit of a strange one. Brian says, got a cousin that lives in Perth for over 30 years. How far is it from where we're playing? No doubt he'll make the pilgrimage. Perth to Sydney's the other side, isn't it? Perth's closer to the UK. Sydney's on the other one, yeah. Matches will be shown in the members section, says Conrad. Myers says, hey, hi fellas, do you think the clubs will demand a lump sum for sales as opposed to instalments due to Everton's uncertainty? No, because most clubs play in instalments.
And the money will go in the books anyway, won't it?
So no, I don't think that's an issue. Might be what Everton want to pay up front if they're trying to spread the money, because they've got 2 or 3 irons in the fire.
It's not like if they pay in installments, they pay one lot 1 year, and the next year they go, I'm not playing this year, it's crap, well, no, you have to pay it.
Andy Budd says, all right, lads, looking forward to tonight, just wondering what time's big don't get in there. Imagine. Dave Wild says, I went to New York in April, first time USA, and it's everything you think it'll be and much more. Loved it, can't wait to go back again. Didn't really suffer from jet lag. It's right, Dave. Steve says, would be a great signing. Would be great to get a signing, lift the mood. Lots of talk from Ped and Baz recently with FFP. I agree with Ped. Everton only have themselves to blame. Don't think a cash injection would help us. It'd only allow us to keep making the same mistakes. Yeah, but when it's FFP and they're talking about profit and sustainability, well, Everton are sustainable because the owner sustains them. So I understand it, and I think it's important, and it is important that Everton get the house in order, because we can't be reliant on one fella who could decide to get off at any minute. I totally get that, and I agree with it. But also, if some of the stuff is in place to ease those measures, and I'm not talking just say you can spend 300 million, I'm not saying that, But some of the stuff is so restrictive. Like that Richarlison thing, Everton, on a normal thing, could have maybe pushed Spurs up to 65, rising to 75. So I'm saying he's worth that. I'm just saying in normal circumstances. But because we had a deadline, which was in place, so the Premier League was satisfied. But the Premier League was satisfied that we sold one of our assets a little bit, I don't know, but maybe a little bit cheaper to help a big club in the top 6 that they love. So they got it at better value. That, to me, seems like a conflict of interest. But I agree. I think there has to be some framework in place that you have to adhere to. It's got to be. John says, hi guys, with Brands giving an interview about the owner overruling him on transfers, which he had valid points, how come there were little changes otherwise compared to the changes Kevin Thelwell has made since he come in? I believe Brands' hands were tied at the time, but do feel he could have done more. I agree, Johnny. But some of that might have been the owner not giving him enough of what he wanted, and maybe Kevin Thelwell's in a stronger position to bargain that.
The problem with Brands was it was quite evident that Mashiri was getting far too involved, and obviously I think Mashiri's hopefully has learned his lesson. But then at the time, especially now with Brands, everything that he's been saying and coming out saying about the club, and it's right and he's fine to do so. You signed your contract ran out, and you signed another one. So it's like there's no point moaning because you were happy enough to sign a contract. Does that mean you just wanted the money?
Well, you will be when you're getting big money.
I mean, yeah.
Peter says, Baz, what do you think about Niels and Kunku? Is he any good? I think there's something there with Kunku. He's powerful and quick. Positionally, he wasn't great, but I don't know how much work Everton have done with him positionally. He looks more like a left wing back to me than a left back. So if Frank's going to play 3 at the back with wing backs, then he might be a good backup option. He's only got a year left on his deal, so it's up to him to impress now this summer. Otherwise, Everton will probably look to move him on. So the ball's in his court.
Yeah, we've obviously got Ashley Cole amongst the coaching staff who's worked. You can see how much Mykolenko defensively especially is improved since he came in. So, and
who knows?
To be honest, if Niels and Kunku's just a backup left back, you get him steady, he's young, then why not be a good backup left back?
Absolutely. Ruse says in relation, by the way, Ruse, nice one for tonight. Appreciate it, mate. Cheers. Says, in relation to the board and all the backroom staff members, what impact do their salaries have on FFP? If it's minimal or nothing, Mashiri can offset wages from his personal pocket in another way. Then why doesn't he invest as much as possible in areas where he can't be held back? I doubt there's a top 6 when it comes to backroom staff like it is with players. Why aren't we hunting the best? The answer to that, Ruse, is I don't know. I'd be guessing, mate. I imagine, well, it's all involved in Everton's wages, and that wages goes into FFP, no matter who it is. So I don't think them areas can be. He can offset things like stuff for the stadium and refurbishing things. I think they can be offset by natural losses or whatever. And they don't come into consideration, or they can be ruled out against your losses. But wages, I think, are all part of the same thing. Steve Lamb says, didn't we sign ammo from Bruges? Yeah.
Amakachi.
Yeah, 3 million. Brian Murray says, we're getting more links than a butcher's. Get your arse in gear, Thelwell. Kev Rex says, is there any truth in Gomez to Juventus in a swap deal with Rabiot? If it is, I'll bite there under. No. How can there be? Andre Gomez to Adrian Rabiot. Yeah, I don't think Juventus is stupid, surely.
We're swapping Ped for Kevin Hart.
I don't know what that means. Josh Fisher says, looking to go to Florida next April. We'll be flying out of Dublin as well. Any recommendations who to fly with? Aer Lingus. Virgin have just whacking their prices up greedily. But Aer Lingus seem quite competitive, so have a look at them. But there's others.
They go to like New York and stuff as well, don't they? Aer Lingus.
Check them out. Brandon says, was curious to see if we're planning to go and have a look at stadium sometime tonight, or is that just an option? No, we couldn't walk out of the pub to walk everyone down to have a look. But you're quite welcome to. It's down the road.
If you go outside the pub and look up.
Yeah, but they could just walk over. It's not far. Not far. It's probably...
It's on the same roads, Regent Road.
It's probably 10 minutes, if that, away walk, if that. So if you want to go out for 20 minutes and have a look at the stadium, then come back and carry on. You're more than welcome. I'm not walking down with a flag and everyone walking behind me going, let's go and look at the stadium. But you're quite welcome to do it, Brandon. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bruce says, no worries, mate, have a drink for me. Will do, mate. Top man. Top man. Brian says, Martin, I'm staying in the town centre for the night, and if you want to share a cab, top man. He's put his number there. Conrad says, Baz, your menu of past matches was how I was like for knowing the information on the back of football cards in the 1970s. Players' birthplace, height, weight, and previous club's appearances. Is right, lad. The sticker gun was terrible, if you can remember. Were they like top trumps, Conrad? Can't really remember them, to be honest. I was just obviously the kid and it didn't stick in my mind. Panini were like, kind of like the first things I remember, the stickers, but were they like top trumps?
Match sacks I used to collect.
Shut up.
They were amazing.
No, they are, Zach. Yeah. Mathew and Zach, my lads had me up the wall with them, yeah. Brian Murray says part of Thelwell's job is to find a club for the likes of Gomez. Yeah, well, he will be trying to do it, but so was Brands, and people weren't exactly quick to take up the option. Where are we? Richie Dean says, hi lads, enjoy tonight, love to be joining you all, but 7,000 miles is a bit of a stretch. Still hoping to make it to Minnesota, but even that's looking dodgy due to work commitments. We'll really try it out. The crack will be boss. Ned needs some protection. Get yourself there, Richie. Try and blag it, mate. Come on. Gary Waters, how do you ruse? Yeah, I've done ruse, haven't I? Right. Paddy Weathers says, signings, we need some bodies in soon. We do. Paddy is trying to remain calm about the lack of signings. Emma says, will the internationals be back in time to be involved in America? I don't know is the answer to that, Emma. I'd just be guessing. I'd be very surprised if Nathan Patterson doesn't go on the plane. Because for me, he was out injured from late March, was it? Well, when West Ham, I think, was that April the 1st, West Ham, whatever. It was early, or April the 3rd, it might have been West Ham. He was out then, he got injured on the Saturday, and he come back to play a couple of games for Scotland the other week. But Mikalenko played all the way through for us, then went and played for the Ukraine the other week, and is back training, Monday, back in pre-season, like that, ready to go. And he didn't have to, he cut it short to come back. So therefore, Everton have to, or not Everton have to, but Patterson, for me, I'd be going, I need to be on that plane to America because I want to hit the ground running. I want to show the manager, the coaching staff, I'm ready to make a difference here. Get himself over to America, get to Washington, train with the team, put the effort in the hope that he'll get 15, 20 minutes against Arsenal on Saturday night, and then build then Minnesota and get more minutes in your legs. I don't know whether it is. Anthony Gordon, I don't know. I've seen pictures on his Instagram. He's in New York with his girlfriend. Yeah.
He might go from New York and meet up with the squad in
Possibly.
DC.
I don't know. Because I don't know who else is with his girlfriend. He might be, for all I know, he's flew home and he's back today, and he'll be at Finch Farm tomorrow and flying back to America on Sunday. I have no idea. So, yeah. James says, all the best, lads. I'll see you later. Is right, James? Says, bros, yeah, at his age is fantastic. Yeah. Kevin Murphy says, the like. Thanks, Kev. James says, City buying Brighton left back and Zinchenko wants to play further forward. Should be a top target. I think Everton do want him. So we'll see what happens. Can he play in the number 6 though, Zinchenko? To me, he's the type of player that he likes to get on the ball, and he's
a tidy, neat football.
He likes like nutmegging people. I know that. He's got a lovely left foot on him. But I mean, I'd take him right now, but I just don't know whether or not he can play in that number 6.
Is he what we really need?
It depends. Again, though, we don't think he do.
Yeah, we don't know what Lampard's built. From what we know, Lampard might not. You might just think, well, I was going to play 3 at the back, and then we'll have 2 attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
2 players who can get forward, and the 3 at the back will stay there. The full backs push forward, and there you go.
Yeah. Glenn says, Baz, any tips for a dad with a 19-month-old? How'd you get Zach into footy? Started kicking the ball with him, mate. To be honest. And he seemed to enjoy it. So just have the ball. And just, he'll watch you. Your little fella will be watching you with the ball. So if you're kicking the ball about, he'll want to kick it. And then that's how you get them into it. I probably should have done more with Zach, but I just didn't really want to push him. But he was into it. Because I could have had him in a team, really. I should have had him in the team a few years ago, and I didn't. I wanted to develop him and all that, but he probably should have been in a team to learn how to play like games. Technically, he's very good. He strikes a lovely ball.
Knowing the game,
but
isn't he?
it's where he's learning about, especially because he plays.
You only really start properly learning when you go to 11-a-side, though, don't you?
Yeah, but it's the
start learning.
I'm teaching him about protecting the ball. I'm teaching him about when you're a striker, your job is to hold it up and bring your teammates into the game. I'm teaching him that side of the game. Their balls are fantastic. Corners are unbelievable. His free kicks are excellent. Like you said, you give him any time in and around the penalty area, he always is the target. I've got him doing it with his left foot now, but he's got a couple of things. He's a little bit of a shitbag, dare to say it. If there's a bit of a tackle, he's not quite into getting tackled, which he's got to pick up very quickly. So yeah, try to just kick the ball about with him, Glenn, and see whether he likes it, and just keep going back to it. If he sees you doing it, kids will mirror what the parents are doing. So that's probably the best way to do it. And I've got 2 lads. My eldest lad wasn't really into it. He had a go, went to mats quite a few times, and he moved away from it. He was more into, sure, he should have been living in America. He's not now, but he was into like skateboarding and doing all that, scooters and all that. Played in goal for a little bit, which I never really got. I never really understood why anyone would want to be a goalkeeper. And he kind of moved away from it. But Zach's more like me, and he's football mad. He can get you with stats like that, goals he remembers, and he's got to the stage now where he's come and gone. You know that fella who plays for Anderlecht, the left back, and I'm like trying to think, hang on, which one is it? And he'll just go, he's played 24 times, got 11 goals, 3, and you're just like, oh yeah. So he keeps me on my toes, which is really good. Who's this left back
for Anderlecht?
I know, not a left back, but you know what I mean.
Get him in.
Get him in. Sign him now. So yeah, so that's it really. That's it. Right, I'll do another refresh on our Premier members. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Subscribers going up all the time. We're not that, what are we? Something like 60 odd off 61,000, 61 off 61,000. So if you haven't subscribed,
61 is the magic number.
We'd really appreciate it if you did. Thank you very much. Just bounced off Peyton for some reason. I lost where I was. Conrad says the cards were like a pack of 6, and this was pre-Panini, which killed the card collections off. You could swap with friends or play touch, which was a game of taking a card, thrown in a certain place, and the first one to have a card land on any part of the card wins it. Oh, interesting. Peter Finn said, how did Spurs get so much money for Stephen Bergwijn? 28 million. He's gone back to Holland, and they think he's brilliant in Holland, and it sometimes is the league, isn't it?
He was a big star when he was at Ajax, PSV. So
he'll go back to the Eredivisie and will be good. He'll have more time on the ball. He's quite quick, and he'll be really good. So for them, they'll see it as good value, and he'll play all the time. Where at Spurs, he was in and out, wasn't he? He's a nice footballer. I just didn't believe when Everton were linked with him. You could be saying, we'll give you 20 million plus Bergwijn for the Charles, isn't it? No, thank you.
Has the Depay left Barcelona yet?
Nobody's available, isn't he? Yeah. They want him out, yeah. Owen said, were we ever in for Zinchenko? It seems to have gone very quiet. Can't see us signing him and Gibbs White, or could you? They do have an interest still in Zinchenko. They've obviously got one in Gibbs White. It would be a bit mad if they got both of those players, given both of them seem more attacking. It'd be great if we got them, but I don't think we've got we'd have to make decisions on other players.
They're like 2 number 8s, aren't they? They're both players you want to.
You can't do that if you're playing 3, but you'd need a designated 6 then that'd put question marks over Abdoulaye Doucouré.
Yeah.
You go, well, what's he doing then? Not that should stop you. If you think you can get better and Doucouré then becomes a sub, or you're saying to Doucouré, you've got to try and get in this side, mate. Don't forget Gibbs White can play off the right though. So Gibbs White could play
not a natural,
as a winger.
Not a natural wing though, is he?
No, but that's where he's played. So, you know, that's you've always got to look at that. They might be looking at the whole picture and we're just seeing a very small part of the puzzle and going, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. But Lampard might be going, yeah, it does, because when we play this way, he does this job. When we play that way, he'll play over there.
You might have a new way of playing. Might just put Tarkowski there and then just have a team in midfield.
Who knows? It's a bold.
Tarkowski is big enough
it's
to.
It's an absolute bold statement to me.
I have faith in Tarkowski. You just head anything that comes near our
Yeah. John says, my lad trained at Valencia and played at Goodison with Jeffers, who made him pass when he had a chance to score at the street. Really? I don't think you can make him pass. But did your lad square it and Jeffers put it in? Because if he did, just as good as a goal.
When we were at, I think it was 5 or 6, because he was at under. He only started playing games at under 7s. Before we got to that age, we started playing games. It was at Penn Lake. They brought like a coach from Everton down. I can't remember who it was. I'll have to ask my dad. You might know.
Nathan says, Baz, get your son on here. He's been on before. He's done aftermatch stuff and things like that. He's our resident model. I need to actually get more pictures of him in the other stuff. Right, final refresh on Premier. Let's go. Where are we? Keith, I was a striker. I was at Everton. I played for Burnley as well, Merseyside.
Oh, Burnley.
That kind of stuff.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. The first club I ever went to was when I was 12, and which was young. 12, about to turn 13, with Chester City. Yeah. And then I went to Wigan, and then Everton took me from Wigan. But yeah, went to Chester. Yeah, it was mad. Training twice a week. Drive up to Chester, train at Seal Street.
Did you go after school?
There's Seal Street. I wasn't in town, Bevy, in Sealand Road.
That's a commute, innit?
After school, mate, yeah. And then games on a Saturday. And it was mad, because I was at Chester as effectively like they didn't do it the way they do it now, to like 23s, the 18s, the 16s. There was just like... There was just a group of kids, but there was a lad in our road who was 16, 17, who was playing for Chester as well, Paul West, and he was a fantastic footballer. And he made his debut. He made his debut in the first team. He might have been 16 or 17, Westy, and played for Chester's first team. And I don't actually know what happened to him, but he just binned it. He lost interest, I think. And he was in the team at 17, played a few games, and he turned his back. I couldn't believe it. I think that
happens a lot though with kids that age, don't they?
Mad. I don't know the ins and outs. I just remember thinking, why is he not? He's playing in the first team. It was mad. Absolutely mad. Right, final refresh, and then we definitely are going, because we've got our Premier night to get ready for. Ned will be getting on the guitar, getting the acoustic out.
I'm more excited for the bingo.
And the bingo, Ned is our resident bingo caller as well, of course.
And me stand-up.
Man of many talents. And he will be doing, I hope, his rendition of Ya Ya Ding Dong. Just for Gareth Hughes. Because Gareth is the one who started the movement.
So thanks, Gareth.
You've got to kind of reference Gareth before you sing it.
Never played Will Ferrell at a gig before.
Yeah, there you go. Right, thank you very much everyone for joining us. Have a fantastic day, have a good weekend. Hopefully Everton will complete a signing over the weekend. That's what we're all praying for, and get them on the plane to America. We will be back next week, so we'll see you then. Take it easy and have a good day. See you later.